Hello, welcome in the IBP series powered by CAMLOT. In this episode today, use case number 2. Let's see how the optimizer can help us to optimize the storage space whenever you have to produce in advance of season. We'll see that by the slides and the demo. Let's see that right away. In this new scenario, we have to deal with production anticipation and storage space occupations. On one end, we have, as you can see here, we have a demand which is seasonal. On the other end, on the production side, we have limited capacity. Therefore, we cannot adopt a chase strategy, which would follow the demand by producing more and more. In such case, what happens is we want to produce in advance, so-called the pre-built stock. And on the other end, on this scenario, I have no space on the factory, like in the water business and so on. So therefore, I want to push it somewhere else in a main warehouse here, where this anticipated stock will be kept until the season starts and the stock depletes to the normal operation, like here with the blue period. Okay, let's see that in the system now. How do we do that in IBP? So for this second scenario, let's consider a demand which is fairly flat here, represented by the blue line, okay, with including a high demand period between week 26 and 27. Running the heuristics, we see the green blocks as a system answer is just following the demand, so meaning apparently everything is okay. Now, if we switch to the capacity report of the same situation, then we see that for the same weeks, there is not so much lead time here, we are pretty unused. I mean, the resource which is meant to produce those products is pretty unloaded, then is overloaded and returned to unloaded. Not so good. Huh? And on the other hand, even if we check the stock, there is no stock at all. See, if I'm showing you here the projected stock for the 5 products on all locations, there is nowhere any stock left at any period. So meaning no stock built. Let's see now in the cost model, how can we solve these issues as explained in the slide. So here I am back in the cost model management. And here we see that from the demand cost, first I have really increased by much the penalties of non-delivery and late delivery, just to force the system to do a planning for all products. Then, from the inventory cost, I've set a cost so that on the LDC, the cost is quite high, about 1,000. LDC1, LDC2, meaning I don't want to stock to keep any inventory close to the customer. I prefer getting that on the regional DC. That's why the inventory cost is 0. And I absolutely don't want any stock on the factory. That's why I have placed here a very high inventory holding cost on the factory PP01. Then on the production cost, because I wish not the systems to distribute the production against the 2 possible alternative resource. Here are the 2 production versions. One is of a price of a cost 1, and the other is very expensive. Therefore, I expect the system to use production version 1 only. The next one, the other one, should not be used at all. Let's now run the optimizer in order to solve all the issues that we've seen. Let me return to the capacity, then we will see really the difference, the capacity review, and run the optimizer. So as we can see here in the production view, in the production capacity view, we see that now the capacity is fully used during certain period, before even week 26, 27. There is a drop, which can be explained with the cost management sometimes. And we see also that by comparison to the heuristics infinite result here, that the situation has dramatically changed, positively, by the way. Let's see now on the inventory side. Let me refresh. And we see now the inventory. It's not kept at all on the factory. It's not kept at all on LDC and LDC1 and LDC2, but is really following my instructions where I wish to have the stock built to be stored into the regional DC, like we can see. And then by week 25, 26, the system is using and consuming that in order to serve the demand between week 26 and 27. It may vary from the different product, but you can still see that mostly the RDC1 is utilized by the optimizer. So, say perfect result, at least as expected. And from the demand perspective, let's see that now. Do a refresh. What do we see? We still see that we have a very nice customer service level, 99, 100% in all the periods. And then we are serving the customer demand still on time, but based on stock and production at the same time. So this to illustrate in a simple use case, the storage space optimizations, where to store the goods before the seasons and then withdraw this quantity, deplete this quantity during the season. We are now finished with this use case. Next time, still about storage, but how to optimize your storage space by means of third-party logistics, which is a different scenario. Hope you liked this episode, and if so, a like or a subscription, it's really all I wish. And see you soon!